Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video is going to be a recap of my weekly fragrance rotation, what I wore last week, starting off on the 8th, right up through the 14th of July, 2024. So starting off with Monday, was rocking this one, wore it last week as well. It's grown on me a little bit, but still something that I would probably put in the same category as Parfum de Marly Greenly. That is, I'm intending on going through the full bottle because I enjoy wearing it, but probably won't get a backup bottle because of quality to price ratio being a little bit off for my personal tastes. This is Seraphim Blue from Zaharoff. Likely more me than it is the fragrance. I'm not the biggest fan of blue fragrances. It's my least favorite genre of fragrance. That being said, I did go out of my way and dedicate a week this week to wearing all blue fragrances, and so this was the one that I rocked for Monday. Still haven't received any compliments on this one despite wearing it out twice. I know that that was something that I've heard a lot of other people say their experience with this one has been. For me, I go a little bit nose blind to this. I can still smell it on clothes after I've sprayed it on and come back to it, but during the wearing experience, it's a little bit fleeting for me. Really beautiful iris in here though, and a silky textural feel that is unique to this fragrance about blues. No other blue in my collection has that silky sort of textural feel. It's something that I appreciate about this, and it keeps me coming back. We'll see if it grows on me a little bit more, but a solid 7 from me right now. Hoping to see how this one continues to play out for me, but yeah, I would sample it before blind buying this one. Really was hooked by the marketing on that. I liked the presentation and the story behind it, but fell a little flat for me. Next, for Tuesday, we had John Varvatos Artisan Blue. I believe this was my first full wearing of this one, at least out and about. I've worn it a few times on rainy days and just kind of to refreshen up around the house during those sort of humid occasions. Really nice stuff. Probably a solid go-to gym fragrance. Would definitely make the top 5 or so for that category for me. It gives me a fresh out of the shower kind of feeling, but a cold shower. There's a lot of green facets of this fragrance that make it sharp and soapy at the same time. Despite being a blue bottle, I would say this is a little bit more of a green fragrance, but it does have a shower gel type appeal to it, so I would still say it's a blue-green fragrance. Still satisfies the category, but poor performance on this one. Another reason why I would probably consider it a gym fragrance, and but really perfect for this time of the year. I think Summer Rains is a solid go-to for that fragrance. And then so for Wednesday, it was a little bit warmer Wednesday than it was the rest of the week. Save for the weekend we peaked out in the 90s, but it was high 80s on Wednesday, and went with another classic. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. Really nice, ozonic, salty lemon, very unique scent profile. There's a handful of other things that are like this, but they're more in the niche category, I would say, and this one has really beast mode performance, projection, longevity, all of that good stuff, and as a compliment puller. There's a reason this one is so popular, and from time to time you can still find testers of this one under $40, so this is a really great value for your money fragrance, and like I said, just really nice ozonic, salty air with a bit of lemon touch to it. Definitely worth checking this one out at your local Macy's or Sephora if you get a chance to kind of just go and test things on strip if you haven't already. The next one here is another tried and true classic. Couldn't really rock a week of blue fragrances without throwing this one on. The original Eau de Toilette from Bleu de Chanel. If you can see the juice level there, I don't know, it's kind of reflecting a lot and fingerprint smudged. But I'm down to my last about 5 mLs of this one. This will probably be the next fragrance with which I have an empty bottle for. And for good reason. This is just the benchmark blue fragrance. It was what kicked off the craze in the first place. What's cool about this, the Chanel, is that it comes together and creates a harmony of notes that presents itself as that fresh shower gel type scent profile. However, it simultaneously, you can pick out the individual notes like the cedar and the grapefruit and the incense, and although the mix of them creates that shower gel, they still are standalone, and their presence is felt throughout the wearing experience. And if it just had a little bit better projection, I think this one would be one of my favorites for the summertime. Still haven't tried the Eau de Parfum. The Parfum is a favorite of mine for the fall, but there's a reason I'm down to my last 5 mLs of this one. So Bleu de Chanel, the original Eau de Toilette for Thursday. Friday is when I like to wear niche fragrances, and this is a really nice semi-shower gel-esque minty Sprite type fragrance, and one of the only Parfum de Marly's that I'm maybe not happy spending that kind of price for, but it's got a unique scent profile that's not quite replicable in the designer realm despite having a designer peel. It's Parfum de Marly Sedley. Now granted, Mahir Legacy comes close enough to the point where I probably wouldn't buy a backup bottle of this after I'm done and would just continue to wear out the Sedley, even though that one is a little bit spicier, heavier, and full-bodied, which makes this one, I think, a little bit better for high heat occasions. It's a little bit more light, airy, fizzy, sparkly, and the lavender in here is much higher quality than it is in the Mahir Legacy. But overall, it's just a refreshing, nice lavender mint Sprite is what you get with this one. One of my favorites for the summertime in general. Made my top 10 summer lists overall, and just has such a good combination of that shower gel blue with this gentlemanly style lavender while maintaining a sporty aura. This is definitely my favorite Parfum de Marly that I've tried so far. So that was Sedley for Friday. Saturday I had a wedding. It wasn't a wedding, but it was like whatever the post-wedding party thing is. So I went and officiated the wedding in Florida about a month ago, and then they came back where everyone could meet up here in town. All the family members live in the Midwest here, so only a few of us made it out to Florida. The rest of us met up at a boat club on Saturday to have the post-party festivities, and just wanted to wear something a little bit simple, something to cut through the humidity. It was very humid on Saturday, and it was again, sticking with the blue theme, went with this one, Cool Water Parfum, my favorite of the Cool Waters that I've tried. Really nice, sleek presentation. This is a glass bottle and a really good colored juice in here. A lot of people say this reminds them of Dior Sauvage. I don't quite get that. There's no really lavender presence in this one. I get more of like a fresher take on Dylan Blue with lemon replacing the fig in that scent profile, sandalwood replacing the tonka bean for the creamy quality. And overall, though, this is just like a gem of a fragrance. I got a nice little dent in there, have been wearing it out. Sadly discontinued, but still pops up on the discounters for $50 or less. Joma Shop has the best price on the 100 mLs when they get it in stock at $39.99. Another one that I will probably like, the Seraphim Blue Run Through the Juice, but will not get a backup bottle, especially if these are running like 100 plus by the time I'm finally out of this, because it is discontinued. But my current favorite, Cool Water. And then finally, I'm hoping to do a full review on this fragrance soon. This is an enchanting perfume done by my favorite perfumer, Bertrand Duchefort, who's also done Jubilation Man and Sartorial from Penhaligon's, Jubilation from Amouage. This is Copal Azur from Aedes de Venustas, and this is a very unique blue fragrance. Doesn't quite get into the shower gel tone, but gets more into that more ozonic, salty quality like you would get with light blue Eau Intense. Comes pretty close actually to being more of a niche take or a grown-up version of 40 Knots from Zaharoff. This has that salty appeal, and then there's this very unique resinous quality. Reminds me of if you took like red clay, maybe some of the type of tone clay that you would find in Arizona, mixed it with some salt water, and then burnt it in a kiln, and the vapors, the perfume vapors that would be coming off of that clay in the kiln, gives me roughly what I kind of smell with this fragrance. It's a very vast fragrance. It reminds me of the vastness of space and the ocean. It's very meditative. The incensey qualities in here, mostly from frankincense, trying to recapture the scent profile of copal, which is a resin. Just is a stunning, stunning juice. Super long lasting. Put it on and I can still smell it the next day always, and just really nice ozonic salty quality that is very cooling and refreshing. So despite it being 90 degrees on Sunday, this one was still putting a cooling aroma around me, but it's cooling not in a citrusy way or an aquatic fashion. It reminds me of like when you walk into a cave, there's the dampness of the rocks and the stalactites and everything going on. It's that type of coolness. It's like a stone type cool quality, or something from the earth that's presenting a coolness to it. And then that saltiness also lends itself well to the summertime appeal. This overall I think is a better fall time fragrance. September is the main month that I would rock this one in, where it's still really hot out, trailing off out of the summertime, but there is that dryness that comes along with the autumnal air, and the this plays well in the dry air. It becomes a little bit subdued and the projection gets a little bit defeated by the humidity, which I noticed yesterday. This went on well, projected good in the morning when it was raining, but as it got into the afternoon, the sun came out, peaked up in the 90s, and the humidity kind of crushed this one. But definitely worth sampling. It is a little bit of an artistic house, so it may not be for everyone, but if you're far along in your fragrance journey and your nose has developed a little bit, this is definitely a house I would recommend getting the sample set for. Absolutely stunning stuff. Copal Azur for Sunday, and that was my week in fragrance. Dedicated a time to my least favorite genre of fragrance to make sure I'm giving all of my collection a chance here. Let me know what your experience was with these in the comment section down below, and as always, I really appreciate you sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.